All right, Diablo 4, inside the game. This is Blizzard's little kind of teaser trailer about what's coming in Season 5. We all know that the Infernal Horde thing is coming. I guess this is going to kind of go over everything. We haven't watched this video yet. We're going to watch it, talk about it, discuss it, going on. It's only a 10-minute video, so it'll be pretty quick.
We've been saying this whole time that hell is coming. Now, hell is here.
It's something that's always present in a Diablo title, and we wanted to make sure that for Diablo 4, returning to hell was a special moment. We referenced the endgame cinematic with Prava and Inarius taking the fight to hell at the end of the game.
This was a pretty sick cinematic, by the way.
That experience, that sensation of battling throngs of demons in hell.
Honestly, I think this was one of the most sick cinematics that we got to see in a Diablo game, period. Like, over the course of Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and, of course, Diablo 4. I think this cinematic was absolutely one of the top ones of all time. This was really sick. And a cool moment, a cool couple of moments happen in this cinematic as well.
In the Infernal Hordes, they're going to go into this mode, battle waves of demons, and be able to kind of change the shape of the game experience as you play it.
Those of you who have joined us since base game and throughout the seasons will have noticed that we have this phenomenon in the world that's going on called Hell Tides.
Which, Hell Tides, as of Season 4, absolutely 10 out of 10. I know there's a lot of people that complain, oh my god, Hell Tides, so boy, Hell Tides is so fun. There's so much stuff to do in Hell Tides right now. It was by far my favorite thing to do in Season 4.
Some of you might have noticed that Hell Tides have been getting a lot worse lately.
And now hell is able to pierce the veil that's holding hell back from fully invading Sanctuary.
A lot worse, as in a lot more things.
Root in Sanctuary. And we started by asking ourselves some questions. What is the state of Sanctuary right before the Vessel of Hatred happens? How has hell changed now that Mephisto isn't there anymore? What are the demons up to?
Where is Mephisto? Does he have anything to do with this? Or is this just hell rising of its own accord, as the prophecy proclaimed?
And so we thought to ourselves, how can we make things even worse for the people in Sanctuary?
In this season, you'll very much get to dive into those mysteries with some unlikely allies and really get to the bottom of what's happening. So in this season, we play a lot with the notion of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. How far would you go to save Sanctuary, to save your world? What price would you pay? Would you sacrifice your soul for this? You're gonna meet a guy named Lochran, who at first seems sort of usual, but you're gonna quickly realize that something is off, that something is a little strange with this guy.
So Lochran and Estelle are your allies, and they're going to help you return to hell. Both of them are experts in demons, and they're going to use that knowledge to help you return to hell and become more powerful to be able to battle the Infernal Hordes.
Whoa, hold on a second. Look at this armor. This actually looks so good. Oh my god. I'm loving this armor look right now. I'm guessing this is the seasonal stuff. Hopefully it's not, you know, a devilish $29.99, but you know what? This looks sick. I think it's the seasonal armor, honestly.
More powerful to be able to battle the Infernal Hordes.
The Infernal Hordes is a new endgame activity in Diablo 4. It's primarily a wave-based activity. You're going to be fighting wave after wave of demon forces in hell.
So if any of you have ever played wave-based gameplay before, you'll know that things escalate.
We've got meteor strikes and all sorts of things that try to keep you on your toes.
One thing the Infernal Hordes does differently is the notion of infernal offers.
And between each wave, you'll make a choice. You'll be granted an infernal offer, and by choosing one of 3 of these offers, you're going to change the game mode.
I will say we played this in the PTR, and I know that there's been some major changes since the PTR, from what I've gathered based off of other content creators and stuff, but I really do hope that they buff the hell out of this, because I'm sorry, what we got in the PTR was absolutely... It wasn't fun. I'll just be blunt. Like, it wasn't fun in the PTR, but that's what PTRs are for. They said they've made some major changes, so we'll see where we go from there.
In some way, a positive and a negative.
You can imagine from the depths of hell, these hands rise out and offer you both a boon and a bane, a kiss and a curse.
And this is a temptation.
Again, look at this armor. And something else with this Boon and Bane thing, I feel like games like that had survival modes in the past, games that I've played anyway, Streets of Rage 4 comes to mind. Their survival mode was actually fun. The choices that you got to make as you were progressing through this survival mode was actually fun. I don't know what changes again that they've done with this, but if it's the same as the PTR,
that the Fell Council is making to you.
I have faith.
In this temptation, you're offered more power, but that power comes at a cost. And so you get to
this looks the same.
Which temptations you're going to pursue during your Infernal run, and then customize your experience from there. One of the guiding principles of this game mode is replay. It's an in-game mode that we want to make sure you're playing over and over again. So we really wanted to create a broad set of enemies for you to fight during this mode.
We've got many demons to choose from in the lexicon of Diablo's monster families, but we're also going to see some other foes you might not expect.
There are going to be certain types of enemies like goatmen who have been banished to hell that have now rallied to Mephisto and fight by his side. And even some unlucky souls that marched on hell from the Cathedral of Light have now been revived in hell and fight against you alongside the demons.
Basically, everything that hell has to throw at you, we're throwing it at you this season.
The Infernal Hordes has been built with multiplayer in mind, but multiplayer is not required. We want to make sure that solo players still have a very fun experience in the Infernal Hordes. Now that said, if you roll in with a party, you're going to have a lot of fun.
This game mode is going to appear in the Eternal and in the Seasonal realm, and that means that once the season is over, it's...
So this is going to Eternal and Seasonal. That's actually pretty cool. We were reading some notes earlier about how the majority of things starting in Season 5 and onward, I guess, are going to be also an Eternal realm. I know we have some people in the community that absolutely don't like starting over for seasonal stuff. So this is great. This is great for those players.
It's here to stay.
The Infernal Hordes is unlocked at World Tier 3. So really what you need to do to access it is earn your way up to World Tier 3 and then complete an Eternal quest line that
those
takes
hands.
you back to hell and then unlocks the Infernal Hordes. For World Tier 1 and 2 players, we've built out a seasonal progression that'll help them become more powerful in order to be able to confront the Infernal Hordes. First is you can earn reputation, and that reputation applies to a reputation track that earns lots of really cool rewards that'll make you more powerful as you progress onto World Tier 3. The other thing we've built are micro-dungeons called Hell Breaches that offer a glimpse at the Infernal Hordes mechanics. And they give you a chance to learn the mechanics before you confront the Infernal Hordes at World Tier 3.
That's pretty cool, especially being hardcore, no surprises
The
kind
final
of thing.
boss in this season is the Fell Council.
And the Fell Council is some familiar faces that you might recognize from Diablo 2.
These were priests.
Look, these things look sick. I'm glad that they brought back the council, but it would be kind of cool if they were like, I mean, I get it, they're different elements and stuff, but maybe look a little bit different. They're kind of just like reskins, but you know, I'm just nitpicky at this point. I do think they look cool. I just think, you know, maybe a little bit more.
Priests of the Zakarum, holy men who were corrupted and basically became vessels of hatred in their own right.
The council members in Diablo 2 tried to help contain Mephisto in his soul stone. And of course, Mephisto, being Mephisto, slowly but surely corrupted them. And eventually they had soul stones pierced into their hands and became super powerful. But eventually you overcame them and sent them to hell. Through the course of the story, resummoned them. They've been reborn, slightly new powers, but the same animosity toward you.
What's interesting about this boss encounter is there are 5 council members, but you're only going to fight 3 of them at once.
This allows us to then create many different flavors of the boss fight for the Fell Council. In fact,
You got something you want to say? Huh? Doggo sleepy. One thing I will say about these 10 variations that they have, another thing I hope that they fix from the PTR is they kind of all felt the same. They did different things, but they felt the same. It was all kind of like humdrummy. I'm thinking that they did. They did mention that they changed a lot of things up again, but we'll see with that.
In fact, it's about 10 variations in all. And so every time you go into that council fight, there's a very good chance you're going to have a different fight than the last time you played it. We think it's going to offer a lot of replay for players. What we also introduced during these waves are opportunities for you to earn ether. Burning ether is the resource that you gather during the Infernal Hordes.
They did buff the amount that you get
at the end of the activity.
There's going to be a fixed number of waves that you have to defeat, and once you've completed all those waves, then you'll face the Fell Council, defeat them, and collect your treasure.
So upon defeating the Fell Council, the spoils of hell will spawn, and then you consume your burning ether and opening those chests. Now, the trick is, when you are playing through these waves, that's your opportunity to earn as much ether as you can. Different events are going to spawn all throughout the waves, around the periphery of the arena, and it's your job to try and defeat as many of those events as possible to try and gather up all the ether you can. Really skilled players are going to be able to really maximize that ether so they get the biggest payout possible at the end after defeating the Fell Council.
So with this burning ether, you'll be able to get new uniques, you'll be able to get new legendaries,
Ooh,
you'll be able to get rare
those look pretty cool.
materials, things you might have scoured the whole of Sanctuary for in previous seasons or in the base game, but now we offer it to you here, down in the depths of hell.
A lot of these new uniques and legendaries really build on top of this idea that they've been forged in hell. And so they're going to have unique looks that you can then make into cosmetics to apply wherever you like. They can also have unique VFX and sound effects to really create the sense that they were forged in hell.
That's kind of cool.
One particular one that I enjoy using a lot are boots. Boots, you say? Well, these boots not only have been forged in hell, whenever you use a power with a cooldown, they shoot out a ring of fire.
I think these are the Rakanoff boots he's talking about.
That's just one sample of the types of powers we're exploring.
Those are pretty cool.
So death in the Infernal Hordes is
all the new uniques that they've added.
Quite a big deal. You're returning to the realm of hatred where Mephisto was born. Like, this has to be a big deal.
In the Infernal Hordes, it's a lot like Nightmare Dungeons. You only get a fixed number of revives in order to be able to get to the end of your run. So at lower difficulties of the Infernal Hordes, you'll get a number of revives shared between your party, but at higher difficulty levels, the game is going to start taking away those revives, and that increases the stakes that you have.
If you die too much,
especially
you'll
in
be ejected from
hardcore.
In the Infernal Hordes, we created a lot of new ways for monsters to ambush the players, and so I'm pretty stoked to see how our players respond to these.
The season.
See, I don't like that. I don't like surprises. Not bad surprises. All right. As long as these ambushes aren't like sudden one shots, like, you know, oh, whoops, I didn't know that there was a Shadow of Lilith in this pit 90 or whatever. Good surprises. Not bad.
Seasonal quest line and the Eternal quest line, they have lots of little surprises and twists and turns in them. And there's even some surprises we've buried deep within the Infernal Hordes that hopefully players will have a great time with.
Well, there you have it. There is the rundown. August 6th is when we are going to be going back and getting the test on this Infernal Horde stuff. What'd you think? You excited? I'm pretty excited for Season 5 overall. I mean, we got a lot of new uniques. We got a lot of new aspects coming our way to kind of test out, play around with. That I'm actually like, I'm pretty excited for that. Now, this new mode, this Infernal Horde thing, I'll be honest, after playing the PTR of it, I'm not that excited about it, but they did say that there was a lot of changes to it, so I'm pretty excited to kind of... What is it? Sorry. She has to get camera time as well. The puppers. But anyway... Hi. Now I lost my train of thought. But anyway, what I was saying was I'm more excited, I think, for the uniques and different styles of play that we're going to be getting this season over everything. Hopefully the Infernal Hordes was boosted up enough to be like a lot of fun. I mean, I am looking forward to it. Anyway, this is like the hold me over season. This is going to be the shortest season that we have until basically the expansion hits on October 8th. So take that for what it is. It's kind of a hold me down until then. Anyway, what did you guys think? Were you excited, or are you excited more so now for season 5 than before? And if you are, what are you going to play? What class you playing this season? This is the last season before we get Spiritborn that's going to basically take over because everyone sees how cool it is, right? So I think I'm going to be maining a druid this season more than anything. Finally going to pick a class and stick with it instead of leveling everything up first. I'm just going to stick with druid all the way. I don't care if it's bad. I don't care. We're going to try. We're going to push. We're going to make it happen. But anyway, there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, favorite, subscribe, all that good jazz, ding the bell and stuff. All that stuff. Do that. Just go do that. I appreciate you watching. Thanks again. We'll catch you on the next one.